Hello everybody, Jober Velasco here again at the Los Angeles Rifle and Revolver Club. I got a bunch of videos, or a bunch of questions on the first video that I posted last week, so I wanted to address some of those and also go over a few other things that I failed to mention in the previous video from last week. So yeah, this will be a much shorter video, and we'll get through this really quick. So first off, you see here I've got the gun again, and I've got the extension tube removed from it. So just to show you again, so those are the two screws on the bottom that go into the barrel. It's drilled and tapped here, or I don't know. I'm not even sure if that's the right word for it, but just attaches just like that. So these are very easy to lose. So that's the one thing that I don't like. So as long as you are careful, you can get this on and off easily. Just don't lose these two screws. One of the questions that I got last week was about the forend on the stock. So let's show that to everybody. I find this very comfortable. It's not very wide. I'm not sure about the exact dimensions compared with the Onshoot's Precise stock, but it feels very similar in my hand. I've actually got calipers here, so we can measure this. Of course, the digital display's out because the batteries are dead, but on the external scale, it comes out to a little over 41 millimeters. So for those of you wondering about the size of it, that's what it is. Put this back on. You'll also notice, like on most stocks, the sides of the stock are straight, so this is the same height, the entire length. But you can see Walther's decided to give it a little bit of a curve. So depending on where your thumb ends up resting, you might have a lot of space to rest your thumb, or it might be coming over the edge a little bit. For me, that was one of the problems I always had with the on-shoots, because my thumb would come over the edge, over this hard edge, and it would be really uncomfortable. With this one, since my hand rests here in the middle, I've got this large area here, and it's much more comfortable for me. And I'll just measure that real quick. So like at the probably the narrowest part of it, which is up front, is about 30 millimeters, and then about the fattest part of it would be about 36 millimeters. So again, you can get depending on where your hand is, you'll have to just look for that. I use an open finger glove, so that's why it's been an issue for me with my thumb wrapping around it. But if you use a full fingered glove, you probably won't have that issue. Just a few other things to go back over. When I was talking about the loading tray last week, I didn't mention the ejector. Now the ejector is again, it's a more conventional design, which is inside the floor plate to the rear. So when you pull the bolt back, it'll make contact with the case and then kick it out. And this can be flipped around, so you can have it eject to the right or eject to the left. That's done by taking the action out of the stock and then removing the trigger group and doing some other stuff. For me, it's already set up the way I want it, so I'm not going to worry about that. But if you're a left-hander and you want it ejecting from the other side, or for whatever reason, it is possible to do. The manual doesn't go into too much detail about how to do it, but they always recommend that a qualified gunsmith do it. But I think it's something that you could probably do on your own. Again, here's the parallelogram joint that I didn't mention last week. There was a link to the Walther video about it, where they showed loosening these two bolts and that it swings either way. They didn't show you that you have to loosen the two on the bottom also. So there's two more bolts here that you have to loosen, and then that'll give you the free range of movement that you want to move the back end of the stock however you want to move it. One clarification, last week I mentioned that the cheek piece can be moved forward and back. The method, while similar, it's what I explained or what I described last week isn't exactly how you do it. when I went home, I was browsing through the manual again, and I looked at this particular section, and I realized, oh well, that's actually not how you move it. There are holes in the cheek piece, but that's not actually how you move the cheek piece forward or back. Now you can remove the screws that are holding it down and then pull the entire assembly, the cheek piece assembly off, and that'll give you access to the base here, the base plates. And what you'll do is you'll remove the rods, you'll then undo these, and then this whole assembly here, if you can see. Now this can be moved forward or back, and there are the corresponding holes to do that. So, and then you just reassemble everything. So it can still be moved forward and backwards. It's just a little bit more complicated than what I described last week. And finally, for today's video, just wanted to go over a little bit of what I've discovered with the butt plate modification to match an on-chute's butt plate to the Walther stock. I described last week how, you know, this hardware will all fit. I elongated the holes in the carrier for the on-chutes, so that way these would line up perfectly with the holes in the Walther stock. Now, what happens is you eliminate the middle rod, and that's what this clamps down onto. So it would clamp down onto this lower rod and the middle rod. Now you can see, obviously, since the middle rod's not there, it'll only be clamping onto this bottom rod, which means this one was actually, you know, when I was shooting standing, it would actually, this whole butt plate assembly started to tilt back. So because there was nothing stopping the movement in that direction. So what you can do, these are shaft collars that I got from McMaster-Carr. They're the MC10s. The inner diameter is 10 millimeters. So I just have a bunch of those on here, and that stops the movement, you know, this way, so that this will stay put even after being in my shoulder over the course of 40 shots. It's not going to move. So that's it for now. Again, please send me your questions. For more information, or if you're interested in buying it, I would definitely go to McKenna Shooting Sports. I'll put the link in the description of this video. And for more information on the Los Angeles Rifle and Revolver Club, also see the link in the description of the video, along with some other information. And that's it for now, and we'll see you again soon.